Today, we're making a chocolate orange cheesecake, but layer. Rich, tangy, and spoonable. Sounds good, right? We'll start with the base. Oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius, and line your tray with parchment. Leave a bit hanging over the edges so you can lift the cake out later without wrecking it. Into a saucepan goes 6 tablespoons of butter, or 90 grams, 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, or 50 grams, and 3/4 cup of milk, or 180 milliliters. Warm it gently until the butter melts and the cocoa dissolves into a glossy chocolate mix. While it melts, here's a fun bite of history. The advertising slogan, "Drink a pint of milk a day," was British, but the United States soon had its own cultural juggernaut, the Got Milk campaign, launched in California in 1993 and later spreading nationwide. In another bowl, beat 2 large eggs, about 120 grams, with 3/4 cup of sugar, or 150 grams. Don't just stir, whisk until the mixture turns pale and fluffy. If you rub a drop between your fingers, you shouldn't feel sugar granules anymore. That's how you know it's ready. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, or 5 milliliters, and a pinch of salt, and keep mixing. Now slowly whisk in that warm cocoa mix. Go slow, because if you dump it all at once, you might cook the eggs, and trust me, chocolate scrambled eggs don't belong in this dessert. Pour in 3/4 cup of flour, or 95 grams, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, or 1 gram, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, or 1 gram. Stir until smooth and flowing like shiny ribbons. Pour the mixture into your tray, spread it evenly with a spatula so it bakes level, tap a few times to pop bubbles, and bake about 35 minutes. And please resist the urge to peek into the oven for the first 20 minutes. Cold air will flatten your cake faster than you can say, oops. Trust me, I've been there. Next up, a pop of brightness. Peel and segment 2 large oranges, ditch all the pith and membranes, just keep the juicy pulp. And while your hands are busy, here's another fun fact. In 17th century England, oranges were so rare that nobles built lavish orangeries to protect them in winter. Kensington Palace's Grand House in 1704 even hosted gatherings where guests strolled among citrus trees, turning fruit into a symbol of power and fashion. Turn on the heat, toss the orange pulp into a pot with a squeeze of lemon juice, and let it warm until juicy. Now, here's the trick. In a cup, mix 1/4 cup of sugar, or 60 grams, with 4 grams of pectin. Then sprinkle that mix in gradually while whisking like crazy. Simmer for 3 to 5 minutes until it turns glossy. Use a blender if you want a smoother texture. You'll notice the kitchen suddenly smells like a candy shop, and Citrus Grove combined, sweet, sharp, and cozy. The jam will look runny at first, but as it cools, it thickens into that perfect spoon coating texture. Why bother mixing sugar and pectin first? Because pectin is moody. It only behaves if it's wrapped up in sugar. Skip that step, and you'll end up with gummy clumps. Not fun. Cool the jam completely before layering. Jam too loose? No biggie. Reheat, whisk in a tiny pinch more sugar and pectin, simmer 1 more minute, and you're back in business. Ding, the sponge is baked. It should spring back when you press it lightly with a fingertip. Another check, stick a toothpick in the center. If it comes out with just a crumb or 2, you're golden. Take the cake out, peel away the parchment, and let it cool at room temperature. While it cools, let's get into the cream. Now for the creamy dream. Into a mixing bowl, add 200 grams of cream cheese at room temperature. Beat until soft and fluffy with a whisk or hand mixer. Did you know cream cheese contains about 33% milk fat, which makes it officially classified as a fresh, unripened cheese, closer to ricotta than to aged cheeses like cheddar or Parmesan? And funnily enough, it also happens to be my favorite cheese. Once the mixture lightens in color, add 45 grams of powdered sugar and beat until dissolved. Next ingredient, 1/3 cup of cream, or 80 grams. Keep mixing patiently. And finally, fold in 100 grams of our homemade orange jam. Mix until tangy and silky. Can you smell it? Citrus meets mellow cheese. Already delicious. Fold it gently to keep the air bubbles. Folding keeps it fluffy. Whisking would knock all the air out. The mixture should look like it's holding tiny clouds inside. Chill the mousse for 15 minutes so it sets up a little before layering. This short rest makes stacking way easier. Time to build. By now your sponge is cool, your jam's glossy, and your mousse is chilled. Trim the sponge to fit into your clear plastic boxes. Remember, don't toss the scraps, baker's snack, or filler for corners. Now layer it up, sponge at the bottom, a scoop of mousse spread to the edges, and then a thin golden stripe of jam. Repeat until the box is almost full. And this is why I love boxes, you guys. Cutting mousse cake is a total disaster. In a box, perfect layers, perfect portions, and let's be real, they look like they were made for Instagram. If the jam starts wandering into the mousse, don't freak out. Just chill the box for 5 minutes before adding the next layer. Patience pays off. Once filled, let the boxes rest in the fridge for 60 minutes to 2 hours. Everything settles, the mousse firms a bit, and the stripes look sharp. Pro tip, covered boxes stay fresh for up to 3 days. The jam even keeps the sponge moist. Now for the fun part, though it's totally optional, frosting. Pipe chocolate swirls or ribbons on top, then scatter on chocolate shavings and a little orange zest. It's pretty, that zest gives every spoonful a citrusy perfume. Finally, the best bit. Grab a spoon, dive through the frosting, scoop mousse, snag that shiny stripe of jam, and get sponge from the bottom. 1 spoonful, all the layers. And wow, the mousse is creamy, the jam zings, the sponge adds depth, and the frosting ties it together. Bright, rich, balanced, and dangerously easy to finish in one sitting. And that's it. Chocolate orange cheesecake layer cake. Neat layers, spoonable fun, and a perfect balance of flavors. So what do you think? Would you double up the jam for extra zing or keep it classy with 1 stripe? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to LeeA for more little edible celebrations.